just try to wish a problem away instead of facing it and dealing with it? Has this helped, or did the situation get even worse? Well, today we'll get to the bottom of why people avoid the real issue, because let's face it, we're all guilty of it at some point in our lives. Now, joining me tonight, we have Vanda James, who changed jobs 49 times in 10 years. And we also have Professor of Health and Psychotherapist, Dr. Damien, who's here to help us answer why we avoid important problems, how to deal with things sooner, and how to identify key problems without blaming others. And today we also have another challenge, Chrissy, where I took along a viewer, and you'll find out how we got along with that a bit later on. And I'm really, really tired today because I actually went for a challenge. So forgive me if I'm a bit sleepy on the show because I am really knackered, but I'm going to try and stay focused because this show is really, really important. But if you want to get in touch at any point, you can give us a call on 020-7686-6300 if you'd like to give your opinion about the topic, or maybe you'd like to share a situation that you've been through, maybe where you've tried to avoid a problem instead of actually dealing with it. You can also email Chris at chrissybshow.tv. But let's talk to Bianca first of all.
Hello,
hi, Bianca.
Chris. How are you feeling?
I'm knackered, really knackered. I can't explain how I'm feeling right now, but it's okay.
How did the challenge go today? Without telling us, you don't want to spoil it.
No, I don't want to. It's not the one we're going to play today, obviously, because your other tests don't work that fast. But yeah, it was really good. It was really, really good. It's tiring.
Was it difficult?
I won.
Oh, good.
Just say
That's a good sign.
Yeah, I won, but it was really good.
Are you just saying that? Well, because we will find out.
No, you'll see. It was timed.
If I was there, would you still win?
Of course.
I thought so. So before we start our story today, let's talk about a fantastic charity that is called Race for Life, which raises money and raises awareness of cancer, and raises money towards cancer as well.
Cancer research.
Yes, cancer research. The races have now begun in many areas of the country, and I ran it last year, ran the 5K for my grandmother, and Chrissy will be running it this year for her father.
Yes.
So Chrissy, tell us why you wanted to run it this year.
Well, cancer was never something that I always, obviously everyone knows about it, but it wasn't something that I thought much about until my father was diagnosed with it. And it was a shock because it's never run in our family whatsoever. No one has ever had it. So he was diagnosed with cancer of the liver and bowel. So he's been having chemotherapy. It was going okay.
But do they say it runs in the family, or is it...
Well, normally it does.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he was very, very healthy. He's always sort of been very active. Okay, he was a little bit overweight, but he's always active, eating really healthily. And actually, the doctor said the reason they didn't notice it earlier was because he was so healthy, so they couldn't see any symptoms. So, like, in a way, that kind of worked against him in a way. But anyways, had his chemo and everything. He had an operation recently where they removed quite a lot of the liver. And it went well. Doctors sort of giving him the all clear on the liver side of things. Yeah. But he's got to start chemo on the bowel as well. So it's just having a little rest from everything. But it's been very hard. I mean, I haven't sort of been witnessing most of what's been going on because I've been over here because he's in Cyprus. Yeah. But obviously it's been very hard on my mum. It's very tiring for the family. I went over there when he had the operation for a week. That's why you didn't see me for a week. But it's very hard on the whole family.
But I bet it was good to go and visit him. And
it was,
to be there for him as well.
But that's why I've decided to do Race for Life this year because, it is something that, I was guilty of not really thinking about before. But I think it's until it sort of happens to someone
That's it, yeah.
Then it's like people wake up, don't they? So that I'm going to be running and raising money for that this year.
So what will you be doing in preparation for it?
Well, I can't run to save my life. I get a stitch within about a minute of running. I don't know why. Maybe it's my breathing technique. I don't know. But I'm going to be getting training from Jane Raft, who's the resident fitness expert on the show. Yeah. So she'll be helping me out a little bit. So we're going to be doing some running next week. I might walk it. It's okay to walk it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You could walk it.
As long as I get
as long as you complete it. Yeah, that's it. So if you want to sponsor Chrissy, you can go on our website, and you can also go on our Facebook page, and all the details and the link will be on there as well. So good luck, Chrissy, with that. I'll be there anyway. I'll come along.
Oh, I think you should run with me, actually. For on the spot on a live show.
Last minute sign up. I'll do it with you.
I think you're allowed to.
Okay, well, I'll do it with you.
Maybe they can tell you.
Last minute plan. I'm doing it. All right. So I've got some stories today that are about when avoiding issues that can have serious consequences. So the first story is about a young man who feared being alone when he was very, very little. So when he turned 66 years old, Sayona Chana, he, rather than working on this issue of loneliness, he is now head of the world's biggest family. So he lives in a 100-room, 4-story house in India with, get ready, 39 wives.
Oh my gosh.
He's got 94 children,
Seriously?
14 daughters-in-law, and 33 grandchildren.
Wow.
And that was all because
now
he
the
had a
question
fear.
is, does he still feel lonely?
Probably not now, with all these kids running around.
I don't know, because for example, when I was going through certain situations, I had people around me all the time, and I was still felt very lonely because I didn't feel that anyone understood me or what I was going through at the time, which, as most of you know, was depression and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I still felt lonely even though I was surrounded by people. So I don't know, in his case, maybe he can still feel lonely.
Yeah, and you know, they say a lot of people living in London are quite lonely people because it's so busy. You pass people a lot on the tube, and you pass people in the street, and it's manic all the time, but you don't actually conversate with these people. It's just rushing past.
Don't connect with anyone.
Yeah, you don't connect with anyone, and people don't really talk to you that you don't know on the tube rush. You'll think it's probably quite strange, but like, it would be quite nice if we wasn't able to conversate with people. Yeah, a bit more friendly. Yeah. So yeah, it's true. He might still be lonely, even though he's got all these children now and lots of wives as well. And if you wondered how he's got the space for it, well, Zona made sure he was covered. He's got his own double bed and double bedroom, and like many of his wives, he have to sleep top and tail in communal dormitories. That's awful, isn't it, Chris? So he's made sure he's all right. Oh, I've got my double bedroom. Everyone else.
Sorry, I know it's a culture for some. I don't want to offend anyone. I know it's a culture, but it's like, how do you connect with so many people?
I know. And I just think it's unfair
one
for
person,
the children.
it's hard work enough as it is, isn't it? Just sort of to get to know them and know them inside out and get along with them and everything. Imagine 49.
But to have 39 of them.
Oh, 39. Okay,
yeah,
sorry. I've added 10 on this.
The thing is, I think that the children, they mustn't be getting the support that they need and love and attention, must they? To have like that many children. And also, the thing is, Chris, he hasn't stopped looking for wives. He's now going to the States, he's going to America to hunt down more wives because he still wants. But so maybe going back to your first point, he might still be lonely.
Yeah,
so
which is why he's carrying on. There's definitely an issue there, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe Dr. Damien can help us with that later on. He can maybe shed some light on that. He's sitting over there, by the way. Okay.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure in China they wouldn't tolerate his behaviour as well. You know, with their one child policy that they have. Yeah. And according to the Chinese government, over 336 million forced abortions have taken place under the one-child policy, and a majority being girls due to the cultural preference for boys. And it was actually announced yesterday as well, I was reading the Metro, that China has introduced a new law and they're going to be fining anyone who has a child out of wedlock. So anyone that's not married will be fined as well now in China. So they're really trying to cut down on like growth and population. So I
wonder if that would work over here.
Yeah. Well, someone needs to start finding this guy, don't they? That's shocking. But China, I think they're a bit, I don't know, I think they're a bit extreme with it. Because it's not fair, is it, to have one child, and they're putting people through a lot of pain, forcing people to have abortions. Right. It's not right. The next story I've got is about a man who didn't want to leave his front door. He didn't want to leave his home. The last time Keith Martin left his house was the day of the 9/11 bombings at the Twin Towers in America. He says he remembers it clearly, and from that point he did not want to leave his house. He felt too unsafe to do so. So he hasn't left his house in over 10 years now. And whilst at home, he gained rapid weight. He is now the world's largest man. And by avoiding the issue, he was eating 20,000 calories a day.
That's awful.
It's horrible, isn't it? Because of the fear of leaving the house.
So this is what happens when people don't get help straight away for these things. It's not. You need help. If you have that kind of fear, or it's irrational. It's not a rational kind of thing to go through. You need to get help. The sooner you get help, the sooner you get some kind of counselling or get support from someone, the better. Don't leave it till it gets out of hand that. But even if it has gotten out of hand, it's not too late. You can still get help for it.
Exactly, yeah. But I just wonder, where was his family at the time as well, or his friends to help him through it? So, he was dealing with a serious issue, and doctors were coming to his house because he got so overweight that they had to come and medicate to come to his house. Well, he wasn't going anywhere anyway, but when they realised there was a huge issue, they had to come round and sort him out. But now he's trying to lose the weight because he knows it's actually life-threatening for him now because he's severely obese. Yeah. So now he has to sort the issue out. But before, he's left that issue.
Well, the real issue is the fear of going out because of what happens. So it's
exactly,
not even the weight.
Yeah, which has caused another issue, which is the weight. So now he's being forced to lose the weight because it's life-threatening. But I don't know when he's lost the weight. I don't know whether he's going to still be able to conquer his fear of leaving the house and the issue of feeling safe.
Bianca, you've got 30 seconds before the break. Have you got...
No way, that went so fast.
Can you whiz through?
Oh my goodness.
One more, maybe choose one of the shorter ones.
Okay, so this is just one quick one then. So it's about grown adults that are still living at home. Almost 3 million adults still live with their parents even though they're approaching 40. About 1 in 3 men and 1 in 6 women aged 20 to 36 still live at home. Now I was thinking about this and I thought maybe it's to do with the rising cost of housing, maybe it's to do with the university fees that have gone up, or interest rates on savings as well. What do you think, Chris, about it?
Maybe some people are just a bit like...
Yeah.
Shall I say? Maybe they're just a bit lazy and they just want to
Well, exactly. You know, and
although in some places... I think some parents actually like their kids staying around.
Yeah, there's a thing.
It depends which country you're in, really.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the time, a lot of young people, it's called the boomerang effect, when they'll go to university and they'll come home, and the mothers actually really like that because they're coming home to the nest.
Well, it depends on what kind of children they are, obviously. If they're great, then of course the parents will love to have them around.
That's it. And I've got time to read one viewer comment
before they tell me off.
So I've got a funny one. So Dale says, my 48-year-old friend moved out of his mother's house last year. Guess where he moved? 1 floor below her in the same building, and he's 48, and he still gets his washing and food done by her. I told him the truth. I said, nothing's changed, and he got very offended by that comment.
Oh, never mind. We've got to go to a quick break.
Right.
But if you viewers, you want to have give your opinion as well, you can give us a call, 02076866300. And after the break, we're going to be seeing the challenge that I did quite recently. So join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back, and it's time for Challenge Chrissy, so let's take a look. So I'm here on another Challenge Chrissy, and this time we're at Ryder Hill in Surrey, and I'm here with Eunice, who's one of the viewers of the show. Hi, Eunice.
Hi. It's very cold.
Yeah, the weather hasn't been great today. It's really raining, so we've been told to expect to get very, very muddy. This is something that I haven't done before. Have you done this before?
And I didn't know I was going to do that today.
So you guys, sometimes you're not going to get a choice. Whoever's going to come with me, you won't really know what we're going to do until the day. So,
I accept the challenge, and I accept it.
Okay, then, so we're going to start off with the training first of all, and then hopefully we will look half decent to let you know how it was afterwards. Are you ready, Nisi?
Yes, I am. I think
okay, so let's go. Telling me something earlier that a lot of kids nowadays, they're stuck on computers all the time. Why is something like this good to come and do?
There's an awful lot on the TV these days about children, being overweight and things like that, and basically any outside activity to get children out and about and away from those computers is good for them.
We're going to just walk just up behind this mound here, and we're going to learn how to stop. Okay?
Come on, girls.
It's no more dangerous than getting on a skateboard, riding a bike.
Yeah.
It's a good fun sport. All our instructors are qualified instructors, so they'll get good tuition and make sure that they're safe right from day one.
You want to keep your feet in your board at all times. The way you stop, there's one technique, power slide. Watch. Bum to the floor, grab the board.
Oh no.
Lean back. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Cool. There we go, pull, that's it, good, there we go, perfect, whee! Very good, up you get. 3, 2, 1, power slide, bum down, grab board, lean back, whee! Perfect. Are you ready? Go for it. That's it, good, that's fine, perfect. Keep that start, ready? And power slide, pull back, pull back, pull back, back. That was brilliant. Bum down, pull. Look at that. Now stand up. Ta-da! Perfect. Grab the board, pull, bum down. Pull back. Excellent. Very good. Push your toes. That's it. And what you want to do is hold them there. That's it. Up here. Just relax. This is your first time. Okay, it's first practice go. There we go. Right, now on your heels. Good. Bend your knees. Good, now toes. Toes. Keep going. Bend your knees. Oh, unlucky. You all right? So heels. Good. Now toes. Arms behind you. Oh, you all right? Oh, unlucky. That's fine. You all right? Good. It's all right, relax. Bend your knees. Oh, look. Power slide. Woo! That was good. Well done, ladies. Give me 5. Fantastic effort today. Brilliant.
So Alison, Aidan, thank you so much for a fantastic day out today. And I know my friend Eunice over there really enjoyed it as well. So, but if people do want more information, what should they do?
Well, give us a call or check out our new website launching at the end of March 2013, which is www.ridethehill.com, or give us a call on 01737 822 458. Thank you for coming.
So much.
Next side, there we go. Very slow though. Well done, ladies. Come back. That was brilliant. That was excellent. Rather than this now. That's it. Hey, look, no pressure.
That was great fun, and I have to say I didn't have a single bruise, so the instructors were very, very good. Thank you to everyone at Ride the Hill. You were great. Okay, but now it's time to meet our guests. Now we have, first of all, Vanda James to my right, and also we have Professor Damien on my right also. How are you both?
Fine, thank you. Yes, good, thank you.
It's nice to see you both.
Yes, thank you.
Now we're going to try and help you out a bit, Vanda, because you've had, 49 jobs in the last 10 years?
Yes, that's correct.
And how many in the last 2?
13 in the last 2 years.
13 in the last 2. Okay. So when you were a child, what did you actually want to do when you grew up?
When I was a child, I wanted to be a zookeeper.
Oh, so did I.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
But we didn't have a lot of career advice in those days. So I thought, I know, I'll be an air hostess instead.
That was my other one too.
Oh,
this
wow.
is too much of a coincidence, this is.
So I
Travel and animals.
To further that, I went to catering college when I left school because I thought that'd be quite useful, pushing the trolley around. But all it did really was equip me to sort of fly all over the place in different jobs, and I actually never made air hostess.
Okay. Were you quite sort of sad at that, or?
No, I wasn't sad at all because other things came into place and I was enjoying what I was doing. So wasn't sad.
How long has your longest job lasted?
The longest job have lasted 3 years.
3 years. That's not too bad.
No, it's good. That's good. It's a very quick 3 years.
And your shortest?
The shortest have lasted a week.
A week.
A week.
Okay then. So if you can just talk us through, because Damien, you feel free to pop in and ask questions too, because we'd like to. Vanda, I would just like to ask you, do you see it as an issue, as a problem, changing jobs so much? Or are you quite okay with it?
Right, I don't see it as a problem. The problem would be if I stayed in a job and stayed in a situation that weren't doing me any good. It can be a problem, or we're led to believe it's a problem these days, changing jobs because of all the statistics, our age and skills and what we want. But I've never found that to be a problem changing jobs. It would have been a problem if I'd stayed in the situation which wasn't good for me.
So you're saying that for each of the 49 jobs there was a situation that wasn't good for you?
No, I'm saying that there's some situations that's been beyond my control, such as when redundancy, contract ends, or I've always been trying to tie work and where I've lived together.
Right.
And they haven't always gone hand in hand. So there's factors outside my control. The only thing I've been able to control is my response to it and my attitude to it and the way I've behaved to it. The same as I'm sure many, many other people have been faced these days. And all you can do is just change response, let go of all old values, don't listen to the opinion of friends and family, don't read too much, don't listen to much news, you've just got to bulldoze ahead. So it's never been a problem because there's been varying factors that surrounded each change of job.
Okay. So is there a particular job that you've absolutely loved? We've got a couple of minutes to the break, but is there a particular job that you absolutely love that you would have liked to stay there, but then circumstances beyond your control happened and then you had to leave?
Oh yes, indeed. The best job that I would, and the job that I would have stayed, that I would have really loved, is when I was a manager from B&B in New Zealand.
Oh, so you've travelled as well?
I have travelled for jobs. Yes, I have. So that, I thought, I love this. And and that thought, oh, well, maybe I could look for similar jobs.
So what were you doing
the UK.
there?
I was managing a bed and breakfast in the North Island in New Zealand.
That must have been lovely.
Oh, that was absolutely out of this world, yeah.
Okay, but you didn't stay there?
I was unable to stay. Obviously, I mean, I would have stayed if I could, but obviously there's other factors such as immigration and my age, which is...
What was the problem with that?
Oh, they've got restrictions on immigration and age and qualifications and this and that and the other.
Right.
But that's fine because I had the experience.
Yeah, but that was the one you enjoyed the most?
That was the one which I would enjoy the most, and I would still be there now if I could.
And that did that involve the catering as well that you
Yes,
that you did
it was the catering which I did all the years and years ago, which helped me to get the job.
Okay. Damien, do you want to ask any questions before we go to a break?
I'm just wondering whether, because you have changed jobs so many times, but I'm wondering whether it causes disruption or pain for yourself or people that you love, all this change and all this upheaval.
The people that I love are independent, because obviously I'm talking about my children now. I don't think I love many other people, and so they're all independent. So it hasn't had an effect on them. The first change of job came when I was made redundant, and they were living at home. And I was a single parent because I've been on my own for hundreds of years. And I was a single parent through their teenage years, so 3 teenage children at home. And I knew that my attitude could have affected them. So I thought, okay, yeah, we all got loads of redundancies that year. So I thought, right, okay, I didn't want them to see that, and I didn't want their lives to be affected.
Vanda, sorry, can I just stop you there?
Oh,
Because we're going to go to a quick break.
Yeah,
because I've just told you we need to go to a break. We'll hold that thought because we're going to go to a quick break, and then afterwards you're going to continue with that. Please don't forget what you were saying.
Oh,
okay, so join us after this.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show. Always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back. Well, before the break, we were speaking to Vanda here, who was telling us about why she's been changing jobs so much in the last 10 years. 49 different jobs in the last 10 years and 13 in the last 2?
13 in the last 2.
13 in the last 2. And now you were saying before the break, I completely forgot what you were saying before the break. Do you remember what you were saying before the break?
Yes,
about you were made redundant for the job that you loved.
Hurting the children, yes. So I didn't want to disrupt their lives because I was a single parent and they were teenagers at the time. And so I just thought, right, okay, forget all that and just start bulldozing, looking for the next job and just acting as a role model for them as well. But
would you say that you put your own happiness aside then and sort of trying to maybe not affect your children as such, so you could just sort of, let me just find the next one and not...
Oh, definitely, I did, yes, because I had a house to run, I'd been studying, And I did put my happiness aside. Yes, I didn't want their lives to be reduced or affected by it.
Are you still doing that?
Well, I didn't want them to see me unhappy, so I just wanted them to see me that I was determined.
That's an interesting.
I wanted to see determined that I could handle any situation.
Do you think that some of that maybe has remained with you? That you're maybe not making yourself happy? That maybe something there stayed, or?
No, the determination has remained with me. But I'm
what
now,
about the happiness?
No, now I do think of my happiness.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that more recently, would you say?
Oh, it's been evolving over a period of time.
Okay.
But now it's just myself that I've got to look after.
Right.
And so, yes, so the determination has probably increased. And so then it's only myself to deal with things.
And Professor, you were saying before, during the break, you were asking Vanda about the financial aspect of things.
Yeah, I wondered whether there's been a financial cost
Oh.
to all the moving and the...
A huge financial cost, just a huge setback. In fact, looking for jobs, moving house and jobs, I liken to a relationship, because if a relationship breaks up, there's a huge financial cost to that, as is with jobs and moving home. I don't think I'll ever recover. I don't know when I'll recover. But yeah, a huge setback. Yeah, very hurtful.
Vanda, do you see yourself running away from anything, honestly?
I see myself from dealing with things. I'd like to know if I am running away from something, but I see myself from dealing with the issue and not running away from the issue. And I wouldn't say running away, I'd say what I'm running to and not what I'm running from. And I'm running to improving myself and finding just a basic living, which I didn't realise was so difficult to find these days, just to give me a base to start enjoying my life instead of always trying to sort it out.
Yeah. But has anyone ever sort of told you that you're not good enough for something, or is it anything in your past that maybe someone said to you that has made you think, well, I'm not going to settle for this, I'm always going to go one step further?
Yeah, my school reports, they said more effort than attainment.
Did that affect you when you saw that?
Probably at the time, and I do remember it now, but I'm still making the effort and I seem to be attaining more, so perhaps that hasn't stayed with me.
You don't have to answer this question if you don't want to. Do you mind? I'll just ask, how was your relationship with your parents? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine, absolutely fine. Yeah, that was quite distant, as it was in those days when we were growing up. They never interfered into giving me advice, and maybe, or they didn't ever show approval or disapproval. It was just sort of, I was left to my own devices to sort that out. Yeah.
And what about relationships?
Relationships.
Yeah. Your love life, how's that?
Oh, my love life. Well, I haven't had a love life for such a long time. It's such a long time ago, I can barely remember. Well, I was married and I was just bringing up the children and he was working. But I always felt there was something that I wanted to do. There's always felt there's something I wanted to work at. And my husband then didn't see the reason that I should be working or needed to work, which fair enough. We had enough finances coming in and we had a house and yeah, all things.
But you wanted to work?
I did feel that there was something that I wanted to do as well as look after the children. But I wasn't encouraged to. So
now on the just talking to you, for me, I don't know if you agree, Professor, but on the surface, and just seeing you, meeting you for the first time today, you seem happy.
Yes.
You seem quite a confident person.
Yes, I'd go with
that. But I'm sensing a bit of sadness about something. I don't know what it is, or maybe an issue that maybe hasn't been dealt with. I don't know what you think.
I mean, I feel that too. I mean, I guess the feeling that I get is that it's great. Vanda is very positive.
Yeah, very positive, which is great. It's a great
really
attribute to have.
But there's a sense of doing stuff on your own and being alone and sort of bulldozing through. And you I think you said that twice. You bulldoze through.
Oh, well, indeed. I mean, I've got some good friends who support me. I mean, support me as in of letting me stay with them. But I do realise at the end, we are on our own in this. And I wouldn't say alone, I'd say I'm taking responsibility. I was faced with the decision when I was on my own with the children, do I just claim benefits or do I work? And I took a route of working when they were very young. Not just working, but I had to study as well as work full time. And I wanted to be a role model for them. So I had that choice, but I probably choose a very difficult path. But yet, now it's equipped me to being very flexible and adaptable. And quite rightly so, yeah, but doing things on my own, but there's nobody else to do them for me. Yeah. I haven't got a safety net of parents. I haven't got a close family. And so I'm taking responsibility for me.
Yeah, and it's what you know.
And that's what I know. That's what I've done, because no one really has taken responsibility for me in the past. So I'm just probably reacting all I've done all my life.
Does that make you sad, though, the fact that no one...
Oh, no, not at all. No, not sad. I feel quite powerful, empowered with it, because I've used my inner resources. I haven't hid under a relationship which may not have been satisfactory, but you stay there because it's safe and in a comfort zone. I think I've just gone out there and just faced whatever's coming to me. And the belief in myself has grown and grown and grown. And I'm not unhappy. In fact, I've probably got less than any of my friends of my age. If you depends on how you sort of gauge happiness and what we need to make ourselves happy. But I'm not unhappy, and I just realised, okay, I'm doing it alone, but that's it. So I'm taking responsibility for myself and not with anybody else.
I really love your attitude to things. But I'm just sort of seeing it from the outside. 49 jobs.
Yes.
It must be hard, because you move house a lot as well. It must be really hard to not sort of be settled in something and have that security and that safety blanket in a way. I know it's nice sort of to face new challenges and adventures and things like that, which is great, but I'm just wondering how it is to not have that stability and be moving around. And
I think I'd like to know how it would be as well. In fact, I often think, well, if I was with somebody, if I did have a partner, they might say, oh, there, don't worry, dear, just take your time and do what you'd like to do. But I've always had to do what I can do and not always what I'd like to do. And these days, looking through the jobs, it's not what you want to do, it's what you actually can do that matters.
Right.
And and it does get tiring, and yes, I do get fed up with it, but on the outside I often think, oh, here you go again, or my family, oh, that's you, Mum, that's part of you. I thought, well, that's right, I just smile and I think, well, no, I'd love to know, just to have a breather, just to think, yes, I can be here for a long time and I can just do a job that I enjoy doing. I enjoy the jobs I do, and I go into, and I fling myself into it, and I'm probably too trusting because I want to believe the good things about it, and then I realise, oh, I've been a bit naive about this one. But yes, generally, you see, when you're trying to, with these days of a lot of part-time work, they don't pay enough for people to live, single people on their own. They don't pay enough to get a rental property because they calculate, oh no, you've only got this income, no, that's not enough, we can't take you on, that's no go.
No, we're going to go to a quick break again. The time is flying by today, but because we've got one little section left after this break, and we're going to try and give a bit of advice, right? I mean, you seem pretty together, Vanda, but I think there's still some things maybe that we could help you with. So join us after this and let's see how we can help Vanda.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
I've been having such an interesting chat with Vanda during the break, and I think we need a lot longer to discuss some of the issues, but can I tell the viewers what I just asked you?
Oh, absolutely.
Is that okay?
Please do.
I just asked Vanda if she was actually happy, and what did you say to me?
Yeah, I am happy. I didn't feel unhappy.
And then I asked her, but are you happy deep down? And you were like, I don't have a choice, something like you don't have a choice or something?
Well, probably I haven't looked that deep inside because I've always had to react and put those feelings aside. But I'm not unhappy because I don't want to have all this misery or like, oh, I'm unhappy.
Is it like in a sense, because for example, when I was going through problems, I found it very hard to sort of face because I thought there wasn't a solution for those problems that I was going through. So could it be, for example, that you are deep down not completely happy, but because you think there's nothing you can do to maybe change it, you are sort of just living life and saying you're happy when there is something that you can change to make yourself happier?
Well, I've tried changing many things to just to improve my life.
Yeah.
But with it, if I feel unhappy, if I'm consciously unhappy, that negativity can make things worse.
Yeah.
So therefore, I know that because of my self-belief, I'm happy with my self-belief.
Yeah.
And that there is solutions, there are things you can change if you're that unhappy, stuck in a job, stuck living in a place that isn't good, that's not really sort of improving anything. So, deep down, maybe not. maybe not. But for the moment, I
think there are some things that we try to avoid because we're sometimes afraid of maybe not finding that help or that solution. Because there's just little things that you've said that just reminds me of things that I used to go through. And I think from what you've said, and you can bring your opinion as well, Damien, there's things that you've put your own happiness aside for the sake of other people, and I think what you really want to do in life you haven't done, which is why you keep changing jobs. But there's something, I think if you're doing something that you really love, then you wouldn't be so sort of moving around so much, because you have kind of put your own happiness aside to an extent because of your children, because of other issues.
Yes, I agree with you to an extent, but when you are your own provider and you have to feed yourself, you haven't got that luxury of time to sit there and think, I'll wait to do what I really want to do. So you need to be earning money, so you do what you can do to survive. Really,
that's the key thing, isn't it? I mean, that's what I really think, that Vanda's a real survivor. And it's very interesting that we've picked up these feelings of sadness and being alone, listening to your story. And certainly, this is what Chrissy's picked up. And the other thing that I've noticed also is how trusting you are as well. You end up in these situations, in housing and work where you've really trusted, and then it's turned out badly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've just got to stop all those feelings of trust. But I think it's because I trust myself.
Yeah, and maybe you over-trust people,
definitely.
and then end up in these...
definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm learning on that one, not to be so trusting.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's where, I think when you were talking about taking responsibility, perhaps that's one area where, maybe it's not just that these are terrible workplaces, but, we may over-trust some situations.
Well, also, because if you have an offer of a job, and you don't know when the next offer of the job will come along,
you feel like you have to take it.
Well, you feel that it fulfills, it provides something at that time, even if it's only more than job seekers allowance.
You thought of starting your own business?
Oh, I've thought that many times. But
why haven't you gone for it?
Because of the finances.
What if you just started really small, like something? Because I think you'd be great at it, because you have a lot of self-belief.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know, I just don't see you working for people.
Right.
I think you've got something special that you can plough into, your own thing.
Right, that's very perceptive of you, because I decided, I thought, no, for what I can do in the way I work, I don't want just to make other people rich. I thought next time it's going to be for me.
Yes.
It's going to be for me, you see.
I see that. I can see that.
And that was particularly highlighted in one of my last jobs. And I thought, no, what am I doing this for? Why am I putting this effort and enthusiasm and making other people rich? So I thought, next time, it's going to be for me.
I really think you can do it, Vanda, because you have this. For you to move around so much and change so many jobs, you have this determination that I see in very few people. And I think if you just applied it, if you stayed in one place and
Yes.
just applied yourself, and you would find ways to deal with the finances. You would find a way around. I'm sure you would. But I don't know what's holding you back. But I reckon you should just go for it.
What's held back is you need a base. You need a firm base, and to do that and to work. So this is where it's always been chicken and egg, chicken and egg. You get the home and the jobs finished, move around. So really, what I need is a base, somewhere to live. So that's got to be, that's the building block, isn't it, Shirley?
But you know what?
To springboard from.
I know people that have started businesses from their homes or from a phone or from different things. So I think I really believe in you.
Should I start it from my car? Have a business from my car?
So seriously, just open. I'm so excited. I really think if you just opened up your mind to the possibility that you can start a business or that you can start something from scratch without having a base yet, because whatever that you're going to pursue can help you to have that base. It doesn't necessarily have to start from the base and then have the business. You can start from the other way around.
No,
just
you're
what
right.
I mean.
You're right. Well,
And I
thank
think
you
can-
for that.
I think you can
Thank
do
you
it.
for that. In fact, I've got an idea already.
Really?
So what are you saying? You're saying that really the energy that Vanda puts into sort of ploughing ahead, because that's what it is, isn't it? It's kind of like,
She's got that. She's got that.
is to redirect that into something else, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I really think you've got something, definitely.
Yes, thank you.
And
Thank
if you
for
just,
that.
sometimes it's just a case of us sort of thinking things the other way around. Because if we wait, for example, 'cause sometimes the mistake a lot of us make is that we wait for situations or circumstances to be a certain way before we move forward with things. And that already brings a lot of blocks to our mind. But then if we start thinking, okay, imagine I'm never going to have this. What can I do? Let me open up my mind. What can I actually do to change the situation that I'm in at the moment? And then you start sort of, your mind is more open to seeing opportunities that maybe you weren't seeing before. I don't know, that's my opinion. I don't know if you want to add anything, because we've almost run out of time.
I can't believe it's gone so quickly. But yeah, no, I think that there's no failure. There's only feedback, really. And so I guess what Chrissy is offering is feedback.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
On your story. Obviously, we haven't heard enough of it. And as a
How long have you got? Maybe I should write a book.
I think, yeah.
well, there you go. And as a therapist, we wouldn't, we would spend a lot more time with clients before we offer advice. But yeah, I think there's obviously a real survival instinct.
Yeah.
There's real kind of energy of that could be used in a different way, and perhaps not rushing into work situations which perhaps haven't turned out so well in the past.
Vanda,
Well, thank you,
I see
yes.
a brilliant future for you, really. I really do.
Well, thank you.
This energy is really hard to find in people. And, I'd really like you to keep in touch. Let us know how you're doing.
Oh, sure.
When you've got everything established, let us
Yes,
know, because
I
I'd love
will.
to have you
That'd be
back, because I'm
really
sure,
good.
you're
Yeah,
going to
absolutely,
make it, and you're
Chrissy,
going to come
yeah.
back and tell us all about it.
Yeah, and that's really, I really appreciate your feedback on that, because sometimes I have to just talk to myself, and I get fed up talking to myself.
Oh, bless. Well, it's lovely. Well, you've talked to a lot more people than me. The viewers at home too. So thank you so much for sharing your story
No, that's
with
brilliant.
us.
Thank you. I've really
I'm
enjoyed
really looking
it.
forward to
Thank
hearing
you.
more from you. Thank you as
Sure.
well, Professor.
No problem.
And actually, we're going to be having an event in October, aren't we?
October was it the 8th?
The 8th of October, we've teamed up with the University of Westminster, which is where you...
Where I work.
Where you
and
work.
also, I think you've named the event.
Yes, it's called, I forgot.
Is it Living or Just
Living
Surviving?
or Just Surviving. So we're going to be having an event at the University of Westminster where we're going to be telling you a lot more about that closer to the time, but it's going to be great. So hoping to see you guys there as well. But we have run out of time. I have to go because they're telling me off inside in the control room. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again. What day is it today?
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. We'll see you again on Friday for the next Chrissy B Show. Bye-bye for now.
3, 2, 1, power slide, bum down, grab board, lean back. Hey, perfect. All right? All good? You get up?
It's so nice doing that.
Grab it, grab onto it as hard as you can, just keep your arms out in front of you. There we go, arms out, straight up, stand. Oh, there we go, just relax, arms out in front, on your toes, on your toes, on your toes. On your toes, on your toes. Let go for a second. That's fine.
Can I walk up? Please.
That was brilliant. That was excellent. Other than a stylish dismount at the end. Hey, look, no pressure. No pressure.